Welcome back. This is the first video in Chapter 7, where we'll discuss common resources and public goods. Let's start with the following question. How are fish in the lake different from seafood in grocery stores, at least according to economics? To answer this question, we'll want to think about how economists typically classify goods and services in the first place. We'll go through two classifications. The first are rival goods. A good or service is rival if one person's use lowers another's ability to use it. What are some examples? Well, first of all, ice cream cones are definitely rival goods. If I eat an ice cream cone, you can't have it. I've definitely eliminated your ability to enjoy it. Another example is a swimming pool. Since only so many people can fit in the water, every additional person is limiting the enjoyment of everybody else, especially once that pool starts to fill up. And so therefore, a swimming pool can act as a rival good. The second category are excludable goods. A good or service is excludable if a non-paying person can be prevented from using it. Again, let's think about some examples. Commercial goods at a store are definitely excludable. Since you have to pay for the good before you leave the store, you're prevented from using it without paying. In fact, you could be arrested and sent to jail for theft. A less obvious example might be a toll road. But for the same reason, toll roads are excludable. You have to go through the toll booth and pay the toll before you can drive on that road, and hence we're literally excluding all the non-paying drivers. Our combinations of rival and excludable goods lead to four classifications. Let's go through them now. First, we have goods that are both rival and excludable. These are called private goods. And as you'll see when we go through the examples, most of the goods you think about in everyday life are probably private goods. Next, we have goods that are rival but non-excludable. These are called common goods. And they'll be the subject of the next video in this chapter when we discuss the tragedy of the commons. Third, we have goods that are non-rival but excludable. These are called club goods. When we go through the examples, you'll see that this is sort of a natural name. Finally, we have goods that are non-rival and non-excludable, and these are called public goods. They'll be the subject of the third video in this chapter when we discuss the free rider problem. Let's discuss some examples of each type of good. First, we have private goods, which are rival and excludable. Ice cream's a private good. As we mentioned, it's rival, but it's also excludable because you have to pay for it in the first place. Congested toll roads are private goods. As we mentioned, they're excludable, but they're also rival because every time another car joins the road, it slows down everyone else who's already there and limits their ability to get where they're going. Fish in a public pond are a common good. They're non-excludable because we can't prevent anyone in particular from fishing, and yet they are rival because every time someone catches a fish, that's one fewer fish for everyone else. Public roads are also common goods. They're non-excludable because anyone can drive, and yet they are rival because every time there's another car on the road, it slows down the drivers who are already there and limits their ability to enjoy the road. The postal system is a club good. It's excludable because people have to pay for their stamps before they can mail a letter. And yet it's non-rival. I can mail a letter, and you can mail a letter, and they're both going to get to their destination even if hundreds of other people are also mailing letters. Country clubs are club goods, and this indicates why we call them club goods. Clubs themselves are club goods because you have to pay membership to belong to them, and yet they're non-rival. Every member of the club can enjoy it just as much as everyone else. The military defense system is a public good. Even if you don't pay your taxes, you're still defended by our military, hence it's non-excludable. And yet everyone is defended to the same degree, hence it's non-rival. The court system is a public good for the same reason. You don't have to pay your taxes to be able to sue someone or defend yourself in court. And yet it's non-rival. Even if you make use of your judicial rights, I can still make use of the court system equally. Let's review what we've learned. Goods are rival if one person's usage prevents or diminishes another's ability to use it. Goods are excludable if non-paying consumers can be prevented from using them. And these two categories give rise to four subcategories: private goods, which are rival and excludable; club goods, which are excludable but not rival; common goods, which are rival but not excludable; and finally public goods, which are not rival and not excludable.